What's up, YouTube? It's ZTAY, aka Lil Red 2025 NBA Draft. The first round is complete. I'm not probably going to do the second round, but I want to say shout out to Alex Burns because we're going to be using his scouting report to determine if I think the player is a good fit for the team or not. So let's get into it. Obviously, with the first pick, Cooper goes number 1. He's 18 years old. If you guys don't know who Cooper Flagg is or what type of player he is, he basically can do everything. That's the best way I can describe him. But right here, you're going to see his strengths and concerns, all of his college stats. Again, Alex Burns did a great job scouting on all these guys. But Cooper is a great playmaker, high IQ player. He could score, he could shoot the ball, he could block shots, he could play defense. He could literally do everything. They're saying the only concerns is that his handle needs improvement and needs to prepare for NBA level physicality, slight hitch in his jumper. Because, you know, he didn't used to be the best jump shooter, but he has improved in that in college and shown that he can do that. And obviously, he's the youngest guy in the draft, 18 years old. So yeah, he's got to prepare for the physicality. He's going to be fine. Cooper, people are saying he's going to be a mix between, who was it? LeBron and, I forget the other one. Who cares? Going on to number 2, Dylan Harper selected by the Spurs. First two, we kind of knew what was going to happen, but I kind of want to talk about this fit because I know there's a lot of Spurs fans watching right now. Because this is 3 point guards on the same team. They traded for De'Aaron Fox last season. They ended up having the rookie of the year in Stephon Castle at point guard, and now they're drafting another excellent point guard in Dylan Harper. 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. He averaged 19 points a game in college. He kind of just reminds me a lot of Stephon Castle, if I'm being honest. Downhill scoring guard, great handle, good rim finishing, excellent pick and roll scorer, elite footwork. This just literally reminds me of Stephon Castle. So they're just loading up. I know a lot of people maybe are speculating, what are they going to do with all those 3 guards? They're going to be able to trade one of them, but we're going to see. I don't think they need to. I think one of those 3 guys can play shooting guard. But then what happens to Devin Vassell? It's just going to be interesting to see what the Spurs do, but it's never, I would rather have you have an overload of talent at one position than none at all. So the Spurs are stacked with guard help and guard talent, and that's what they've been desperately needing for the past, let's be honest, decade since Tony Parker left. And now they really don't need to worry about that position, similar to what the Suns did in this draft, and we're going to get into that. At number 3 is VJ Edgecombe. Now, everybody thought it was going to be Ace Bailey, but he turned down a workout with the Sixers and thought he could just handpick his team. VJ Edgecombe is 19 years old, 6'4" shooting guard out of Baylor. They're saying he's a really good defender. So this is like a win now type of player, and he was drafted to a win now type of team. The top 3 picks in the draft were all with teams that are going to be good. And this looks like a really good fit. We're going to see. They said he improved his 3-point shot. He did only shoot 34% in college, but they're saying he's been better at that. His handle needs improvement. Self-creation worries. That's no problem because you're playing with the Sixers with Tyrese and Paul George and Joel Embiid. That's a good fit, in my opinion. That's why they probably were concerned with Ace Bailey, because Ace is, you know, he wants the ball. As long as he could be a consistent shooter, this is going to be a really good 3-and-D option for the Philadelphia 76ers, and it might help them get back into the playoffs. What's interesting is Alex Burns actually predicted Mark Williams was going to get traded. Now, he didn't predict the trade right, but shout out to him for knowing this. But with the 4th pick in the draft, the Charlotte Hornets selected Kon Knueppel. If you guys don't know who this was, this is Cooper Flagg's teammate. This man was a shooter. One of the best scorers on that team. He averaged almost 15 points a game on 41% from 3. They're saying he is the best shooter in the draft, best catch and shoot player in the draft by far. His concerns, lack of athleticism, slow, tries to do too much because, you know, he's not athletic. But he's going to the Charlotte Hornets. They already have people they're going to create. They need shooters around LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller if they could stay healthy, because that's been the big thing with them. I love this pick for Charlotte. Now, Alex Burns actually had him going 7th, but he gets taken 4th. He's not going to have to be relied on as the number 1 option. He's just going to be a beautiful catch and shoot player. My thing is, how's his defense? He's 6'5", 220 with a 6'6" wingspan. Not the biggest wingspan for his height. And they're saying his on-ball defensive positioning needs improvements. But he goes to a team where he's going to get a lot of open looks. Let's be honest, playing with Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. So This is a good pick for the Charlotte Hornets. In the 5th pick in the draft, the Utah Jazz got Ace Bailey. This is a big, storyline because Ace is a very confident young man, 18 years old, 6'8" bucket getter. That is what Ace Bailey is. Saying he's a mistake-heavy, poor touch, and questionable shot diet type of guy. So he needs the keys. And that's why the Philadelphia 76ers probably didn't draft him. And like I said earlier in the video, he turned down a whole bunch of draft workouts for multiple teams and was trying to force his way to Brooklyn, I believe. And he did not want to go to the Utah Jazz. A lot of people were speculating, saying it looked like he was about to cry after he got selected by the Jazz because he didn't want to go to Utah. But he's gonna be able to cook in Utah. So this is a good selection and a good fit for him. It's just gonna be, in my opinion, how is he gonna be mentally in the NBA? Because that's my one concern with him, because, I've seen his highlights. That man could score and hit very difficult NBA type of shots, but I'm worried about his mentality and his ego, especially being only 18 years old. And I think maybe the selection from the Jazz can actually help him out a lot. So we'll see. How you guys feeling about the Utah Jazz selecting Ace Bailey? Definitely not where he wanted to go. With the 6th pick, the Washington Wizards selected Tre Johnson, shooting guard out of Texas. They said that he was a freshman and he was second scoring for Texas as a freshman, only to Kevin Durant. He's 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. We seen earlier, Kon Knueppel only had a 6'6" wingspan at 6'5", so he's got a large wingspan. That tells me he's going to be a good defender, but they're saying his concerns is poor defensive awareness. But he looks like a really good shooter. Shot 40% from 3 and averaged 20 points a game for Texas. Like I said, he's a scorer. Modern day scorer, outstanding shooter, catch and shoot ability, creates good looks off the dribble, smooth jumper with high release, reliable floater. He's a scorer. And they're saying he could play make. The problem is his defense, but I think he's capable of it because of his 6'10" wingspan. And he's going to Washington. Washington knew they were just going to get that Jordan Poole replacement, let's be honest, because he's the same size as Jordan Poole, and he looks like just the Jordan Poole replacement. And he's going to be able to play with some vets like CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart. This is going to be a really interesting fit for the Wizards because they have a really stacked young roster. And Keyshawn, Alexander Sarr, and a couple others. I'm interested to watch the Washington Wizards next year, and that's crazy. So I like this pick for the Wizards. With the 7th pick, the Pelicans select Jeremiah Fears, point guard, shooting guard, 6'3", 180. I saw Stephen A say he's the next Kyrie Irving, and they just got Jordan Poole. So this is kind of interesting to me. It doesn't look like he could shoot the ball that well because he only shot 28% from 3. They're saying he has great footwork and breaks down defenders with his handle. So he's got really good handle. He's a good playmaker. And again, he's only 18 years old. Some of these guys are really young. His concerns is his efficiency, and he's struggling off the dribble shooting, off ball questions. So he needs the ball, I guess. And he loves to score at the rim. Sometimes doesn't want to shoot threes, so maybe his volume was down. It's going to be an interesting fit to see him with Jordan Poole. I don't know if this was the best fit for him because of Jordan Poole being there, but we'll see. Maybe Jordan Poole could play off the ball more, or maybe Jeremiah could learn to play off the ball more because they're saying he's a point guard / shooting guard. Interesting little battle there, but they did lose CJ McCollum, so maybe they wanted to bring in another playmaker, and this guy averaged 4 assists a game. Now, the draft was in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, a lot of people are saying they took Igor Demin, I believe that's how you pronounce the last name, I could be wrong, very early. He's a 6'9" point guard, 6'10" wingspan. They're saying he's a great passer, probably the best passer in the draft, potentially, but he can't really shoot the ball, 27% from 3. And they're saying that he struggles with pressure, full court pressure. And they're saying he's more of a wing than a guard, but he's not a good shooter. He averaged almost 6 assists though. So it's very interesting. Maybe this could be the Ben Simmons replacement because we know that they traded him away. And they're probably going to need some playmakers. The Brooklyn's just an interesting team for me because I really don't know what direction they're even trying to go towards. Let's be honest. But so How you guys feeling about a 6'9" point guard going back to Brooklyn? 9th pick, Toronto Raptors select Collin Murray-Boyles, 6'7" power forward / center, 240 pounds, 20 years old, 17 points, 8 rebounds, averages a block and a steal. He's a defender. High IQ defender. They're saying he's not really good at spacing the floor. He's an above average rebounder. So this man's a dog and he's a smart player. So they're going to be pairing him up with Manuel quickly. Subject to blow-bys, not really a perimeter defender, poor outside shooter, not really a floor spacer. This is tough. I don't know if this is the best fit for Toronto because they got Scotty Barnes there, who's not the best shooter, but he can shoot. So I don't know if maybe they could use him as a small ball center when they don't want Jakucionis in the game, because Jakucionis we've seen, it's not really easy to become a playoff team with him as your starting center. So I don't really have much of a take on him, but they're saying he's a defensive monster. So maybe the small ball they want to play, maybe he could learn to shoot the ball a little bit better in the NBA, who knows? This is where things got interesting because the Suns obviously have the 10th pick because of the KD trade. But before this selection, they traded for Mark Williams. So Mark Williams actually got traded to the Phoenix Suns. So the Phoenix Suns now paired Mark Williams back with his former other center co-partner, Nique Richards. And then on top of that, they drafted a 7'1", 18-year-old, 252-pound center. So they said, we know center was tough last year. They got PTSD. In my opinion, I think they got too many centers on the roster now, but maybe they are expecting that they can trade Beal or Jalen Green, which I know they said they might keep now, for some more wing players, because I know they got Dylan Brooks and they got Dunn, year 2 Dunn. So I think this is a good pick for the Suns because they needed a center, but the Mark Williams trade also kind of confused me. So maybe Nique Richards is going to be involved in a trade with Bradley Beal to try him to entice other teams. Who knows? But the Phoenix Suns no longer have center problems. This guy shot over 70% from the field. He's very efficient. They're saying he's a defensive anchor, owns the paint, great screener. This is exactly what Phoenix needed. They're saying don't have a face-up game. He's not really a scorer. It doesn't matter because this guy don't need to score and dribble the ball because he's going to be playing with Jalen Green and Devin Booker. He averaged 1 block a game, so they get a couple great defensive-minded centers. This is a good pick for the Suns. At 11, Portland traded the pick to Memphis, and I love this pick for Memphis because we seen in last year in the playoffs, they had no defenders. So they went out and they traded Desmond Bane because they know he had the shortest wingspan in NBA history. I'm just kidding. But they traded him for Caldwell Pope, and then they just got a very good 3-and-D college player. I know they were saying he's one of the best 3-and-D prospects in the draft. 6'6", with a 7'2" wingspan, shot 40% from 3, averaged almost 2 blocks per game, knocked down 3-point threat, smooth release, an excellent defender, multi-positional defender, pass interceptor, unbelievable wingspan, but they're saying he's not really an on-ball creator, and his defensive rotations and consistency needs to work, so maybe it's just his IQ, but he's definitely got potential. He's not going to be asked to be scoring a whole bunch because John Morant is there. This is a great selection and a much needed one for the Grizzlies. And this guy, it's not like he can't score. He shot 40% from 3 on 18 points a game at Washington State. I love this pick for the Memphis Grizzlies. A very efficient player, 56% from the field, steal a game. Yeah, this guy, 7 rebounds. I like Cedric Coward. I like this pick. With the 12th pick, the Bulls selected an overseas power forward / wing player. They're saying that the Bulls don't normally select overseas players. He's a raw skill set. He's only 18 years old, but he's 6'11" with a 7-foot wingspan and averaged 12 points a game. Not the best shooter, but it looks like they got a really good off-ball help side defender, excellent positioning and footwork, deflection machine. So really good driver and defender. They say he's good at drawing fouls. This kind of reminds me of the Matas pick last year for the Bulls. So they're just trying to go get some really disruptive wing players. I don't know if this is the best possible selection the Bulls could have got in terms of fit, but you know, who knows? He's from France. You never know what the potential could be of an 18-year-old from France. So it's interesting to see how he is going to fit in the NBA. 13, the Pelicans traded with the Hawks to go select a 6'9" center in Derik Queen. Pelicans have Yves last year, really good underrated center in the draft. They did a really good job selecting him, and they needed another one, a versatile big man, clean handle. This is a small ball 5. Now he only shoots 20% from 3. So being 6'9", not really being able to shoot, you're gonna have to do other things exceptionally well. And he averaged a steal and a block. So like I said, he's a small ball 5 that could be disruptive. 17 points a game, 9 rebounds. They're saying he's a good passer, positive post playmaker. So he's a really good passer, got pretty good IQ. They're saying poor defensive consistency and efforts. Sometimes they don't know what position he really is and might require a defensive-minded front court pairing. Won't be an immediate impact three-point shooter. But they're saying he could get buckets. He's got a handle, strong driver. It's going to be interesting to see how he fits in with Zion, if Zion even plays. I don't know. Don't have much of an opinion on this, but let's move on. With the 14th pick, the Spurs got Carter Bryant. Now, Alex Burns had this guy going 9. He's a small forward, 6'7", 3-and-D shooter. Shot almost 40% from 3. This is exactly what the Spurs needed, right? And he fell to him. Somehow he fell to the San Antonio Spurs. They're saying he is an above the rim scoring wing, incredible rim finishing defensive enforcer, impressive shot blocker, amazing defensive timing, and a catch and shoot ability is good. Pretty athletic, decent off-ball cutter. This is perfect to pair with all the guards that the Spurs have and Wemby there. They're saying too aggressive at times, low usage and offensive involvement. That's fine. You don't really need to be involved too much on offense. You just really catch and shoot. Guy struggles to create off the ball. Don't matter. Per handle don't matter. Takes unbalanced shots. Is the shooting real? So shot 39% from 3. Everybody's saying this is a steal of the draft, and the Spurs won the draft. A+ for the Spurs. 6'7" with 6'11" wingspan, 3-and-D wing, catch and shoot guy. The only thing the Spurs are missing now is a backup big. Spurs fans, how you guys feeling about your first 2 picks in the draft? The 15th pick in the draft was from the Thunder. So the Thunder win the championship, and then they get the 15th pick because of all the trades they got. And they drafted a center, 6'10", 6'6" wingspan, and he's big. Maybe they're tired of Chet being pushed around and Isaiah being played off the floor. This guy's 262 pounds at 19 years old. He can't shoot the 3 at all, but they're saying he's an incredible rim protecting big man with a big wingspan, dominates the paint, decent post scorer and an above average passer. They're saying he has sloppy post control, lacks foot speed and lateral quickness. This just reminds me of another Isaiah Hartenstein. That's exactly what this looks like. And that, to me, sounds like Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, J-Will, might be available for trade. Because how is he even going to get in the rotation now? So maybe they're trying to keep Isaiah and Chet in the lineup at the same time and maybe have this rookie come in and hold it down when both of those guys rest. Interesting that the Thunder go with another center. So yeah, don't have much to say. He averaged 2 blocks a game. That's ridiculous. Almost 2 steals a game. He is a rebounding rim protector. Then with the 16th pick, which is the Portland Trail Blazers, they selected the China center, 7'2", 252 pounds. Everybody's saying this is the Chinese Jokic. High IQ big man he's a good passer and he could dominate in the post. This kind of looks like the Chinese Jokic. Now the thing about it is, man, he could even shoot 33%. Gets tunnel vision at times, not a mid-range or 3-point threat. Perimeter defense improvement. Yeah, it just kind of sounds. Misses easy reads. Okay. But he averaged 17 and 11. 3 assists. 60% with almost 3 blocks and a steal. This was from the Memphis trade. So they traded back. The Portland Trail Blazers traded back and got another 7'2" center. So not only did last year happen and they got Donovan Clingan, who's 7'3", they went out and got another 7'2" center. So what the hell is happening to DeAndre Ayton? That tells me DeAndre Ayton could be traded. I don't know. How you guys feeling about the Chinese Jokic going to Portland? Portland might be tough, man. 17th pick. The Minnesota Timberwolves select an 18-year-old 7-foot center from France. So they said, let's go get another Rudy. Now, It was interesting because it was reported they were trying to trade Rudy Gobert for Kevin Durant. So maybe they're trying to get that Rudy Gobert replacement once he's done. But this guy's just like Rudy Gobert. He can't shoot, and he gets a whole bunch of blocks, and he's a shot-deterring big man. Lob threat. Mobile for his size. Smooth rim runner in transition. Good timing. Switchable defender is interesting. Decent screen setter. Solid measurables. Extremely raw. Unlikely force. Yeah. This guy they got another Rudy Gobert. Interesting. 18th pick, the Jazz traded with the Wizards, and the Jazz selected Walter Clayton Jr., point guard, shooting guard, 6'3", 6'4" wingspan. He's 22 years old. Credible shot creator, great three-point shooter, or smooth off the dribble, good handle, above the average vision, decent athlete, poor off-ball movement, inconsistent defensive intensity, not a true point guard, very score-first mindset. But he averaged 18 points a game, 40% from three almost. They got to score at point guard, so the Jazz are trying to get some bucket getters, it looks like, to pair with. I don't know what the Jazz are going to do, man. I really don't. They're just trying to hit on somebody and find somebody to be a scorer. 19th pick, the Nets select Nolan Traore, which is interesting because his brother played for the Lakers and his brother was not good. I wanted to like Traore, but he wasn't good. Now, this guy's 6'4". He's a point guard. His brother was not a point guard. Confident ball handler, creative playmaker, locates teammates in tight windows, sudden burst of speed. Okay, so the Nets drafted 2 point guards. I don't know what the Nets are doing, man. They're saying he could only go right. Thin frame. 12 points a game, 5 assists. So he's a good passer. He's from France. Who knows, man? They got 2 point guards trying to hit on one of them because they know D'Lo's gone. That tells me D'Lo's gone. They're not re-signing him. According to this mock draft, this guy fell. KJ, I'm not saying his name. KJ got drafted. Shout out KJ because I'm an Illinois fan. Still can't say his name, bro. I did watch him a couple times. I didn't really watch Illinois. I didn't watch college basketball that much. That's why I need this. But the Miami Heat are selecting KJ. And he's nice, bro. He led Illinois far. Great vision and accuracy. Unbelievable playmaking. Great pick and roll guy. This could be a good fit alongside Tyler Hero, Jovic, and Khalil Ware, which I think they're going to probably go in that. I think the Heat are trying to go young. And this is like a Goran Dragic type of guy, in my opinion. Same, very turnover prone, poor ball control under pressure, pick and roll reliant. But that's okay because they got a whole bunch of pick and roll bigs that can help him out. I think this is a great pick by the Miami Heat. He was projected to go 13th, according to Alex Burns, and ended up going 20th to the Heat. So I think they got a steal as an Illinois fan. 21st pick, Wizards traded with the Jazz. Wizards select Will Riley, small forward, shooting guard out of Illinois. Another Illinois guy. Shout out to Illinois, 6'9" shooting guard / wing player. And he's a smooth ISO scorer, Swiss Army knife. Great cutter, finishes round rim, midi, so he's a mid-range slasher. They're saying he's super skinny, 185 pounds of 6'9". But Wizards trying to just get some bucket getters, man. Maybe Chris Middleton could help develop this guy. Who knows? I don't really have much to say about the later portions of this. But let's keep going because this video is long already. My goodness. Now the Nets traded with the Hawks, and the Nets select a small forward, Drake Powell. This guy was projected in the second round. He's 18 years old, so another maybe questionable pick for Brooklyn in their home city doing the draft. I don't know. Athletic wing, slasher, good defender. But I mean, he could shoot too. 38% from three. Not a serious scoring threat. Overly passive and self-creation handle needs work. Slow jumper. I don't really have much for this, but get you guys something a little. Yeah, let's keep going. Hawks traded for Asa Newell. Now, this guy was projected to go 17th, according to Alex Burns, and they selected him at 23, so maybe a steal, question mark. Power forward center, 6'10", 19 years old. 30% from threes, and not really the best shooter at center. 7 rebounds, 15 points a game. High energy play finisher, great offensive positioning, cuts well, fills in gaps, putback machine, good physicality and athleticism, versatile, smooth movements. Saying he's like a tweener, not really a center. Not really the best rim protector, but how's he gonna fit with another center? They know they got Porzingis, so maybe he could be like big four, kind of similar to what they had with John Collins. This is cool. They're getting another lob threat, putback machine, cuts well and fills in gaps. Maybe they got Jalen Johnson's twin. Who knows, man? That's what it looks like. I think this is a solid pick for the Hawks. Hawks looking pretty decent so far in the offseason. I think they're having a pretty decent offseason, man. They got Porzingis. Now they get another pick and roll center. I like it. With the 24th pick, Alex Burns called it 24th pick, but it's the Kings because the Thunder traded away this pick, and the Kings get a shooting guard, small forward, bucket getter. Okay, they got another bucket getter. I don't know why, but I guess they did. They said Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Malik Monk isn't enough. Let's get another bucket getter. Okay, interesting. With the 25th pick, the Orlando Magic select Jason Richardson's son. That's crazy because Jason Richardson, I believe, got drafted by the Magic. So this is a really cool story. He was projected 20th by Alex Burns, and he went 25th in real life, so maybe the Magic got a steal. 6'1" shooting guard. Now, that's what people are concerned with because he's undersized, but they're saying this guy could score 41% from three, so he's an elite three-point shooter. They're saying defensive effort is there, but he might be hunted on defense in the NBA. Who knows? Three-level threat. And he's a very efficient scorer, but he's only 6'1", so maybe like an Allen Iverson type of shooting guard. Who knows, man? But it's cool that Jason Richardson's son goes to the Magic from Michigan State. Actually crazy because Alex Burns just predicted what the 26th pick would be. Ben Saraf, 6'7" point. The Nets got another point guard. The Nets drafted 3 point guards. This guy's from Israel, 6'7", and good passer. 22%. They got, okay, what are the Nets doing, bro? A non-shooting point guard for the second time in the draft. They have 3 point guards so far in the draft. They said, we're going to hit on one of them because guess what? They have another back-to-back pick. Guess who they got? Finally, the Nets didn't choose a point guard. Danny Wolf. Now, this guy was projected to go to the Celtics, which is funny. 6'11", 7'2". I've actually heard of this guy. He's nice. Michigan center. He was a big part of Michigan, I believe. He could shoot the ball from 3. Offensive generating big man. Good pass vision, I guess. 3-point potential. Poor defender. And poor defensive intensity. Questionable weak side. So he's not really the best defender. But they're saying that he could be an interesting shooting big at 6'11". Almost 10 rebounds a game. This guy was pretty good in college. So they finally select somebody that's not a point guard. This is a cool pick for the Nets, man. They got to hit on one of these guys, right? 28th pick, the Celtics select Hugo Gonzalez from Spain. 6'7", 6'10" wingspan, and he's not a shooter, so 27%. But they said he has great IQ, great strength. He's vocal, and he's connected wing. So he's good in a team system, so maybe this will be good for Celtics, but he can't shoot the 3. So why the hell, what are the Celtics doing, bro? That's all they do. 29th pick, the Hornets from Phoenix. This is the Mark Williams. So Mark Williams traded to the Suns, and in return, the Hornets get Liam McNeely, 6'7", small forward / shooting guard. Catch and shoot wing, but he only shot 32% from 3. Talented perimeter shooter, even though his stats aren't really reflecting that. Decent passer, confident, lack of rim protection, so he just relies on shooting. Maybe he just really shoots a lot, and that's why his percentages aren't there. So the Charlotte Hornets get another shooter. Another wing shooter. Maybe he's going to get better looks with... They get 2 shooters. You know, I like what the Hornets are doing, but now they don't have a center. So who the hell is going to play center for the Charlotte Hornets? My goodness. They really going to go with Nurkic, man? They got to be getting somebody in free agency, right? Got to be trading somebody. We made it to the end. My goodness, bro. With the last pick in the first round, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy's name. Yannick Konan. No, I'm not pronouncing that. 7-foot center. Going to the Clippers, by the way. Clippers draft a lob threat bouncy big man for James Harden. Oh, this is beautiful. Sorry, I hit my mic. This is beautiful, man. I love this selection for the Los Angeles Clippers. They just got James Harden a lob threat. Man, it looks like a Jackson Hayes type of guy, in my opinion. This guy was projecting the Lakers were going to draft him, so unfortunately the Lakers can't get this guy. But that being said, there's actually some good centers still available, and the Lakers have like 3 second-round picks. So maybe we could get somebody. Again, this is the end of the first round. My goodness, bro. I'm exhausted from looking at all these. But shout out to Alex Burns, man. You know, how much time he had to do that's incredible. Because my goodness, me just reacting to it makes me tired. Shout out again to Alex Burns. In fact, everybody go check his Twitter out, man. I'm out of here, man. How you guys feeling about the NBA first round? It's over. This video is literally 39 minutes. My goodness.